brought up earlier that he's more into the whole doing characters that isn't like his personality.
Oh, for the love of people keep getting in my way.
Ladies and gentlemen, all of you.
She won't stop
have you ever
leaning.
done a character that's completely different and not be able to get out of the mindset of the character for a while? Like, say for like a week afterwards, you're like still in character, and like, say where normally you'd be like, man, whatever, you just snap at something random and it's like,
As I understand the question, if we had any characters we couldn't snap into that character, snap out of. Okay. Well, my wife blames me for doing that. Sometimes I'll get stuck on a character when I'm kind of learning a voice, and some of them she hates. I watched the movie Sling Blade for about a week. Running around doing that there voice, and she just damn tired, hated it. And so she's, so sometimes I get stuck on a voice, and I'll, like here I'm trying to get my Aussie accent down. I'm sort of, trying to figure out how you guys and you folks talk, and I'll figure that it's kind of up here in the back of your throat, kind of the nasal cavity. So I'm working on it. So until I figure it out, I'll keep doing it.
That's a great Aussie accent, I think.
Oh, I'm trying. That's more than mine. That's a mine. That's what I do.
I'm trying to remember I'm at a panel, not like in the middle of some dreams, sitting next to Bill Farmer and Vic Mignogna.
Oh, Bill Farmer, yeah. It's funny you should mention the Australian accent, because when I landed here, it's going to come. I realized it would cost us a lot of money on our cell phones, right? So I bought a cheap little phone at the airport, a prepaid phone. I was setting up my voicemail, so I did my best, very lame Australian accent as my voicemail. So if anybody called, they would know that it was my voicemail in Australia. But I don't dare do it after that.
Do it!
I will not bend to your peer pressure!
Do it!
Oh, give me a shot, please.
No.
Do it!
No. Actually, right, who's got a question quick? Please, God. I'll give you money. Another question. I didn't have a question, but I'll raise my hand now.
Over here.
This is a question for me, sorry. But how did you feel doing the rants for Ed?
Oh, the short rants. Well, the fun thing about those is if you get them right the first time, you don't have to do them again. That's the best part about the short rants, because they're a lot of words, really fast, and high, full-on scream of bloody murder. So I always used to make a deal with the engineer. I'm like, okay, dude, this is going to be really loud. So turn your record level way down, because what I don't want to do is scream bloody murder and get it perfect, and then, it was too loud. So the engineer would be like, oh, I'm sorry, man. Pin the needle on it. So I always try to make sure that they've got the record level really low, because you don't want to have to do those too many times. No. Trust me. A lot of people always ask me to do one. I don't even remember a lot of it, because if you're lucky, you did it once, and you got it, and then you moved on. So I didn't memorize the words to them, but they're fun to do. I just wish I had a stronger voice to do more of them.
I run into the same thing all the time. Goofy has a classic fall, when he falls off a mountain and stuff. And that's extremely loud, and I always have to do that once. I say, pull back the volume. And then I do it, and I go, geez, and then I pull back the volume. But the one, it's when he falls off a hill or something, goes, yeah! I always have to do that. So yeah, you gotta watch out for the engineers.
I'm doing a show right now called Vacation. And it's funny because this character, whenever he casts a magic spell, he goes, cats, mets! And he's got these real strong, energetic words that he casts these spells with, right? Well, he says it a million times in every episode. So I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Early on in the series, when it became very clear that he was going to be saying pets and mets and all of this a million times, I said to the engineer, I have an idea. let's create a folder, and every time I say cats, mets, put it in the folder, and then after a few episodes, we'll just pull them from
You
the
have a
folder.
library, yeah.
Rather than me do it every time, you know, it just kind of tired the voice out music. Because they always sound similar. One may be longer than the other, or there may be 3 in a row or something. But we built up this whole big folder of pets and messes that she drops in. So to help save the voice.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Off the top of your head, what's the most favorite line you've done of any character?
What's the most favorite line? My God, that's hard to say. I did one that was actually fun to say because it was very hip, but it was a classic character. I did an episode of a series called Robot Chicken, where I did Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, and they were doing a rap with Elmer Fudd. And I think Daffy had a great line. We're no longer Looney Tunes. We're the Zoonie Tizoons. This was a kind of a fun thing to do. I can't think of any other ones like that. Lines. Wow. Whoosh. Why ain't walking?
There was a film called Fireflies, it was an animation, and the people that drew it turned out to be some of the best fighter pilots in the reserves. So when we went to war a few years ago, they actually had to stop production. There was a character named Jules, and she was the reluctant superhero. And oh, mashes. And then she'd beat the living dickens out of somebody and go, oh, my, all that and gorgeous too. It's delicious being me.
When you do as much work as we've done, it really gets hard to have just one favorite line because you have so many if you do things right. There's one moment though in Full Metal that I really enjoyed. How many of you guys remember the episode Full Metal versus Flame? There's one scene where Ed's out on the battlefield getting ready to fight Roy. And he's like, this will be a great day, Al, the day that I get to, punch Colonel Mustang and get some damn respect. And little Al says, what's your strategy, brother? And Ed goes, I told you, a fist in his face! So, that's my favorite today. Question.
Okay, there we go. Vic, I was wondering, what's harder at Tamaki Senpai and Ed for brands? What's the hardest one you've ever done?
The hardest one?
Yeah.
Well, I think probably Ed's are harder because they're higher in the voice, they get a little nuttier. Ed gets a little more spastic, I think, than Tamaki does. And there are a lot more words jammed into a smaller space. But they're both a lot of fun. And you know, it's funny because when Caitlin last started this series, she directed Oran High School Westwood and played Haru. And she told me when we first started, she's like, you know what, this character is you. It's you. I mean, it's just like you. And, we started the series and Tamaki is really smooth, so awesome, sweet, loving. And I thought, wow, yeah. This reminds you of me. This is awesome, right? And then the next thing you know, he's balled up in the corner, screaming and crying and moaning. And I was like, which part of Tamaki reminds you of me? Because is it the spastic one in the corner or the romantic one? But I would have to say Ed, probably. It was more fun and harder as well. Question. And that's it?
That's it? Oh, this has been great.